Jesus really does change everything. He is God incarnate, or God in the flesh. Jesus' birth should impact our worldview. Let's read a conversation between Jesus and Pilate in the Gospel of John, chapter 18, verse 37. "You are a king then," said Pilate. Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." This conversation is taking place while Jesus is under arrest and will soon be heading to his crucifixion. But his sole purpose was to point people to truth. God's truth isn't just a doctrine. Truth is Jesus himself. God coming to live among us in the flesh was the ultimate way to testify to the truth. And that truth is that God made us, he loves us, and he wants to be in a relationship with us. So, how should that impact our worldview? It should change our thinking from how non-Christians think to how those who are on the side of truth think. Let's read what Paul wrote in Ephesians 4, verses 17 through 21. "So I tell you this, and insist on it in the Lord, that you must no longer live as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their thinking. They are darkened in their understanding and separated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardening of their hearts. Having lost all sensitivity, they have given themselves over to sensuality, so as to indulge in every kind of impurity, and they are full of greed. That, however, is not the way of life you learned when you heard about Christ and were taught in him in accordance with the truth that is in Jesus." Paul says we should think differently from those who do not confess Jesus as Lord, and that thinking should result in changed behavior. Hitler did not confess Jesus as Lord. He had a hard heart and was full of greed and hatred. In contrast, Bonhoeffer thought differently because of his faith, and that led to action. He was not willing to sit by and watch justice be twisted. He spoke out to such an extent that his work was banned, he was imprisoned, and ultimately executed. Everything we do, including how we view and interact with the world, should be done in a way that points to Jesus. As Christians, we are called to speak out against injustice and harmful worldviews, just like Bonhoeffer did. What are some things we can do to make a difference? We can educate ourselves about the realities of what is going on in the world around us. Find out about oppression and unjust practices. We could also learn more about how major worldviews compare to God's word. This will lead to a better understanding of a biblical worldview. And we can take immediate action by speaking up for those who can't speak for themselves. This can start in our schools and neighborhoods by standing up to bullying. Don't sit by, watching and allowing it to happen. Speak up. Of course, this is all easy to say, but hard to do. Most of us won't be martyred for speaking up like Bonhoeffer, but it may be really difficult, leading to people not liking us, being unkind, or even hating us. How do we prepare? Let's read David's example from Psalm 86, verse 11. "Teach me your way, Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart, that I may fear your name." David's prayer gives us a great example. Ask God to show you how to live his way. Rely on his character of goodness and faithfulness. Ask for a heart that's undivided and completely focused on him, and have awe and reverence for him, which leads to obedience. He promises to be with you all the way.